happy new month to you, and welcome to this particular edition where we bring you all the sporting details on your radio. Don't forget that you can be part of the conversation. The phone lines are 07000 917 917, 07000 917 917. Our toll free number for women 0800 1235 917, as well as, of course, you dropping a message on our SMS and WhatsApp line that is 0703 175 6537. Well, as the Nigeria Premier Football League came to a very interesting open for the new season, we got to see the first game for the season. Enugu Rangers having to face off Kanemi Warriors, but that one ended goalless. At the Nnamdi Azikiwe Stadium on Saturday, the Flying Antelopes, who clinched their 8th league title just 68 days after the clash, found themselves frustrated by a resilient President Federation Cup winner. We're talking about Kanemi Warriors in front of their very own home fans. The match saw both teams creating chances, but of course failing to find the back of the net. And we get to see that Kanemi Warriors, who are the newly promoted side, showed no signs of intimidation facing the Nigerian champions. One very notable thing about that particular game, of course, we got to see that, Rangers goalkeeper Japheth Opubo had to come in line with making several crucial saves to keep his side in the contest. But unfortunately, still that game ended goalless. But then there were reactions, actually, and of course, from Rangers International head coach Fidelis Ilechukwu, who said he was actually disappointed with that their first game. He says it's the worst of all their games. And in his words, he said, I'm very sad about it because we had our game plan, and at times football is funny and things won't go the way you expect it to go. But then he said, I must say, Kanemi Warriors are a good side because I know the team so well. Well, let's see how they get to run definitely as they move forward. But let's also forget that Rangers International are still in the Champions League, and they will face Sagrada Esperanca in the CAF Champions League second round, first leg at home on the weekend of September 13 and 15 before heading to Angola the following weekend for the return leg with the league fixtures against Ikorodu City and Bayelsa United on March Day 2 and 3 in view. Well, away from that as well, just to let you in on the fact that the Nigeria Football Federation, NFF, has launched the use of communication gadgets for referees in the Nigeria Premier Football League, NPFL. Now, they did this launch as on Saturday, making use of the gadgets involving that Rangers and Kanemi Warriors a match on Saturday at Nnamdi Azikiwe Stadium, in spite of the fact that it actually ended goalless. Well, let's not forget that the NFF president Ibrahim Gosua had promised to introduce the new technical equipment during the referees seminar in Abuja, and finally that one saw itself to fruition. But then there are lots of conversations around Super Eagles, coach. Of course, last week it broke out that the NFF had finally, gotten the hands of German Bruno Labbadia, and lots of conversations around the fact that, well, what experience is he bringing to the table? He's never really coached a national team. Can he enable us to, possibly clinch a qualification in the, World Cup 2026 or make it through for AFCON 2025? Let's not forget that we are actually very close to clinching the victory in the just concluded AFCON. But then there was a twist to that news, and the fact that the NFF have finally confirmed that the ex-international technical director, Austin Eguavon, will have to handle the Super Eagles in their 2025 AFCON qualifiers against the Benin Republic and Rwanda in September, following their inability to secure the services of German coach Bruno Labbadia. Well, the NFF had actually come out to clarify the details of that particular deal, saying that, it was aborted due to stringent German tax laws. And in his words, they were talking about the NFF president, Ibrahim Gosua. He said, we have been on the tax issue for the past 3 days, and I told him clearly that there was no way the NFF will agree to offset the concomitant tax percentage on his salary that will be demanded by the German tax authorities. And so we got to see right there them saying it's not possible for us to show the responsibility of shelling out another money between 32% and 40% of their salary or his salary after paying the agreed monthly wage. Well, we've gotten to see that Labadia's decision comes 7 days after Nigeria's 2025 AFCON qualifiers against the Benin Republic, leaving the NFF to turn to Eguavon. Well, we got to see how this rolls really, because seems like there's been that consistent turning to Austin Aguavon. Well, we'll move over to this particular news here, and this one actually is about the Falconets. Oh, yes. Well, the two-time runners-up Nigeria began their campaign at the 11th FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup Finals with a crucial late winner over Korea Republic. The Falconets started their campaign like a house on fire via Floris Sabatstein's 86-minute winner in a keenly contested tie decided at the 10,000 capacity Estadio Metropolitano de Techo in Bogota. The win means Nigeria are second with 3 points and 1 goal, while table toppers Germany have 3 points and 3 goals, having defeated Venezuela 5-2 in Group D game. Well, the 2010 and 2014 finalists put forward their strong foot with a total of 14 shots at goals, 2 on target, while Korea Republic had 7 shots with just 1 on target. Falconets have met Korea Republic 4 times, won all the 4 games, leaving no bragging rights for the Koreans. And Nigeria will face Germany in the top of the table duel on Wednesday. Meanwhile, Paraguay actually got to beat Morocco 2-0 in Group C encounter. If you've just tuned in, this is Women Radio 91.7, Nigeria's first and only radio station for women and their families. And of course, this is Sports Radio 360. I am a Miracle Phillip. Well, bringing you in this news, of course, it's all about the Paralympics 2024. Yes, Nigerian para badminton sensation Eniola Bolaji on Sunday lost her semi-final match in the women's singles category to Xiak Zujian of China at the ongoing Paralympic Games in France. Zujian defeated Bolaji with a 2-0 victory, and the match was played at Porte de la Chapelle Arena in Paris. The African record holder put in a brilliant performance but lost to a more experienced Zhang. Well, the tournament number 3 seed betrayed emotions after the game. She was actually crying. It was a sad scene, really. But then Bolaji made history as the first African to play in the knockout stage of para badminton. And in her words, really, she says, she was really overwhelmed by Mandeep Kaur of India in the quarterfinals. But then, she actually got that victory over the Indian, but coming through to this point to lose to the Chinese. Well, nevertheless, the Minister of Sports Development told journalists after that match that he watched the game from start to finish, though he was disappointed. She appeared to be better than the opponent. Well, in more news to come, we'll be taking a look at exactly what is up with Victor Osimhen. Oof. The transfer window now has been closed for Europe, but questions over where exactly he's headed and what exactly are in the talks will be up next. Of course, stay tuned. It is still Women Radio 91.7. Sports Radio 360, it is.
We are Nigeria's only radio station for women and their families.
The Women Radio membership connects you with other women traders, entrepreneurs, students, homemakers, farmers, and pensioners in the 36 states of Nigeria. As a Women Radio member, your business is promoted free on Women Radio. Win amazing goodies and you get access to our events. Download the Women Radio app today and hear your voice on radio. Register free at wfm917.com and make sure you join the Facebook Women Radio membership group. The Women Radio membership is supported by MacArthur Foundation and Nigeria Media Innovation Program, NAMI.
Are you searching for durable, guaranteed, elegant, affordable home products? At Eleganza Industrial City Limited, we put you first. From plastic chairs for adults and babies, party tables and school tables, disposable plates and cups, as well as reusable plastics, food warmers and cooling boxes, trash bins of various sizes, baby diapers, lady sanitary care products, luggage of various sizes, hair threads, and lots more. Eleganza Industrial City Limited has got you covered with our elegantly designed products in unique shapes and sizes. Visit us at kilometer 68 Lekki Ekpe Expressway after Eleko Junction, Ibeju Lekki, Lagos. Or you can call 081 801 99999 or 090 914 73665, or you can send us an email at eleganzaindustrialcity@yahoo.com or info@eleganzagroups.com or sales@eleganzagroups.com. You can visit our website www.eleganzagroups.com. Eleganza Industrial City Limited. The name is our guarantee.
Get ready for the 8th edition of the Voice of Women Conference and Awards, VOW 2024. Theme: Achieving Women's Inclusion for a Sustainable Nigeria. Mark your calendar for Thursday, 3rd of October 2024, 9 a.m. at the NAV Conference Center, Abuja, Nigeria, and be part of a national dialogue bringing together grassroots and urban women in the quest for inclusion and sustainability in Nigeria. VOW 2024 is more than just a conference, it's a powerful movement. VOW 2024, an initiative of Voice of Women Empowerment Foundation and Women Radio, is where diverse women groups converge to champion inclusive policies and drive national development. Are you a business owner, freelancer, or salary earner in Lagos State? Taxes are not just bills to pay. Taxes are investments to develop your Lagos and your future. Women Radio, WFM 91.7, in partnership with Lagos Internal Revenue Service, LIRS, bring you Tax Radio every Wednesday at 5 p.m. and every Friday at 6:05 p.m. with tax experts on your tax rights and tax obligations in Lagos. Tax Radio with LIRS on Women Radio, WFM 91.7, Wednesdays at 5 p.m. and Fridays at 6:05 p.m. Empower yourself with your tax rights and obligations in Lagos.
Driving through traffic? Bored at home? Or maybe you're having a bad day? Ease your mind with great music, entertainment, and lots of laughter on the Evening Experience every weekday from 4 to 9 p.m. on WFM 91.7, the voice of women.
The big question.
Corruption is, in fact, is increasing more. We never had that snake and whether python and swallow mood.
Why?
Everything has increased.
Conversational, controversial, and borderline disruptive. The big question.
Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays from 12:05 p.m. only on Women Radio.
The stories are real.
Something like this happened to me years back. I saw some messages in his phone. The lady that sent the message to him. When I saw him, I said, "Come, why are you like this? Why are you doing all this?"
It's all around you.
And so when she comes up to you to tell you her sexualness, you should be humble enough to listen. And if there's something you can do about that, you do it. Is it reading books? Is it seeing a therapist? Be open to certain things, because at the end of the day, this person is your partner. That is the bottom line of everything. My family advised him to marry the girl he has impregnated. We forced him, but he refused. But when the girl starts telling that you call her too much, then there's something fishy.
You want to share it. What people say. You're not alone. Break the silence culture. Adult Conversations. Weeknights from 8 on WFM 91.7, the voice of women.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's your girl again. You are listening to WFM 91.7. Yeah. Keep your ear tuning. That's it. Bye-bye.
Welcome back. This is still Women Radio 91.7 Sports Radio 360. It is right here, and I'm glad to be doing this with you, Miracle Phillip, your sports lady. Well, it is no longer news, and it continues to be news that 25-year-old Super Eagles player, very phenomenal, Victor Osimhen, has been on the news for the most part of the transfer window. I mean, it has to be one that's made real history because his particular transfer update has been the most talked about from the very start of the season until the very end. And this is the concern of which club exactly he would be headed to. We saw that there were a couple of suitors that indicated interest in the Super Eagles player. We're talking about PSG, Chelsea, Al Akli. I mean, that Al Akli one, a case where he was going to be earning, it was going to be a deal of between 25 million euros to 30 million euros. And breaking that down, could possibly be earning about 130 million naira a day. But that went down the drain. Let's talk about it really. A lot of Nigerians have been pouring their outrage, their suggestions about, the decision that was made by Victor Simmons. Some people saying, well, Victor Simmons should have gone to Akli. But I mean, that deal didn't go just that way because lots of people also saying, well, if he went down to the Saudi Pro League, most likely would have been a retirement plan. But then if he went there, possibly would stay for like 1-2 years and come back to Europe. But then the young star has had an interest in Chelsea, isn't it? But what happened to Chelsea? Chelsea offering a fee that's completely lesser than expected, because even Assistant Oshola had to come out and say, if you hear waiting your go about Fabrizio man, even you self go fear, even you self go swear for them. But of course, this tweet has actually been deleted. Now let's go back really to the conversations that have sparked the fact that Victor Osimhen currently will be staying back at Napoli is one that has raised a lot of eyebrows. Yes, a lot of eyebrows because plenty of people were expecting that most likely he would have been able to trash that deal with Chelsea. I mean, getting to see Chelsea play against Crystal Palace and some of the horrors that Nicholas Jackson performed on the field in response to Mikel B and saying, oh, if we had a Victor Osimhen right there, if all those change things. But you see, regardless of everything that has gone down, Antonio Conte, we're talking about Napoli's managers, come out to say, see, neither Victor Osimhen or any other player will be reintegrated into the squad, meaning that there's not going to be any reintegration of any player who has been left out of game. Those who are out of the project will remain out of the project. We made our choices and work in one direction all together. Well, his future still remains in the balance even after the end of the summer transfer window. The Super Eagles striker played an important role for the club in their last 3 seasons. I mean, when we look back at it, he helped them to win the Scudetto Cup in so many years. You can imagine that. And one would say, is this how they choose to repay Victor Osimhen by leaving him out of the squad? Well, the fact is he's no longer in their plans. And one would say it's exactly the same way Enzo Maresca said Ryan Sterling is no longer in the plan for Chelsea this season. And guy had to take a quick run to Arsenal. Well, it is the state of things right now, but then there have been lots of supports that have actually come in for, Victor Osimhen, from Stanley Nwabali putting that out on his social media platform. All great legends and all Hall of Fame fighters have their storylines, good, bad, and worst kind of views from people who have no idea what the real story is and what it takes. It would define a myth as a story that has survived. But really, I just want to ask them, and I want to know from you, do you think that that was the right decision to turn down that particular deal with Chelsea? I mean, could he have taken the lower pay cut and come to Chelsea? Because really, as it stands right now, if something is not done, if he does not go in before the Saudi Pro League season, the transfer window is closed, he most likely will be benched all the way till January. My people, What do you have to say about that? 07000 917 917 07000 917 917 07000 917 917. Let's get to hear from you this morning. The toll-free number is for women. 0800 123 5917. Let's not forget our SMS and WhatsApp line, that is 0703 175 6537. What do you think about the plenty kasala back and forth with Victor Osimhen's transfer update? So far so good, but also looking away from this, really, this is not the only conversation, but then we'll be back to that. Let's take this call. Hello, good morning.
Good morning. I'm Thaddeus. I'm calling from Ikorodu.
You are?
I'm Thaddeus. I'm
Okay,
calling from
glad
Ikorodu.
to have you, Cadiz. You're welcome. What do you have to say about all of this that has happened with Victor Osimhen?
You see Osimhen, this thing. Osimhen. To me, let me use my normal broken English. I don't want to speak plenty grammar. Osimhen himself, he don't know where they come from, he don't know where they go. So God will make me. Look, he's waiting for Chelsea. Already somebody, there's a man of God that saw vision for him that he should not go to Chelsea. Yes. Osimhen could have collected that money. Look at Oscar today. Oscar, you know Oscar in Chelsea, former Oscar. Look at Oscar today. Oscar, he knows where he's coming from. Oscar checked his own family background. He say, oh boy, nothing. Oscar now went for the money. So Osimhen not setting out for the street of Lagos, where all of us know. They sell something for the street of Lagos, where we know they hawk something. Or hold up, one will know. Today now, God has given you as opportunity. Every opportunity you have made use of it. The Ballon d'Or, now one win Ballon d'Or. Ballon d'Or, they all carry Ballon d'Or give Osimhen. I think now who's me I know say if you read check his age, he read the football age they use. They don't use it in this thing. You know, if we see we black, the football age they use. Osimhen could have grabbed that money from Saudi to God to make me. You could have grabbed that money. Okay, see the other one, Tony. See.
Yeah, Tony went to Al Akli. He clinched that one. But then we know that Al Akli said they were only going to pick one person, and it was Ivan Tony who said, "Okay, I'm going."
Tony was even praying that Osimhen should not accept that. Why Osimhen supposed to pray to God that Osimhen could have prayed to God that I should collect that deal, because you know the money.
Okay, Cadiz, thank you very much for joining in this morning. Okay, hope to hear from you some other time. It says Ivan Tony was praying. Were you in his bathroom when he was praying? All right, thank you so much for your thoughts on this particular one. Well, let's move this story further, but don't forget the phone lines are open. I don't want to leave out the story about the fact that Nigerian midfielder Frank Onyeka has completed a late move to FC Augsburg before the English transfer window was actually slammed. And there's been a lot of talks on why that must have happened. But Brentford's head coach, we're talking about Thomas Frank, revealed that Frank Onyeka had to leave due to low playing time. I guess I've been able to give you that update. But let's take you through Premier League updates. I hope that I can do this in how many minutes? But let's see how we can do this, really, because I need to let you in on exactly what went down in the course of the weekend. There were plenty action. And I told you, I said it. Most likely, Liverpool have found the replacement for Jurgen Klopp, and one that is indomitable. So what happened yesterday? Yes, Manchester United lost to Liverpool. It was 3-0. Newcastle United won over Tottenham Hotspur 2-1. Chelsea and Crystal Palace had it to battle out as a yesterday, but it ended 1-1. Also on Saturday, West Ham went against Manchester City, but of course Manchester took 3-1 for the win. Bournemouth won over Everton on Saturday with 3-2. Brentford won over Southampton with 3-1. Ipswich Town went on against Fulham, but it ended 1-1. Aston Villa won over Leicester City with 2-1. Nottingham Forest, of course, ended that draw with Wolves on a 1-1. And Arsenal against Brighton. Brighton seem to be really coming up big this time around in the Premier League. So far, so good. And it ended 1-1 right there. Now, if we take a look at what the table looks like currently, Manchester City are topping, followed by Liverpool and Brighton. Now, these three teams are Manchester City and Liverpool so far have not lost any game. What is the state of things with your own favorite club? So far, so good. That might be a question you want to ask yourself. But then when we take a look at what's going down in La Liga, because that's still another part of football that we must look at. Well, looks like Kylian Mbappe had his way again for a second goal that time around for Real Madrid. This is because they went against Real Betis, winning 2-0. Getafe and Real Sociedad ending 0-0. Sevilla and Girona actually taking the win with 2-0. Celta Vigo losing to Osasuna with 3-2. Alaves winning over Las Palmas with 2-0. Valencia against Villarreal, and it ended 1-1. Espanyol against Rayo Vallecano with 2-1. Athletic Club against Atletico Madrid, and Atletico Madrid taking 1-0. But then the very indomitable Barcelona seems to be going it real hard. It ended 7-0 against Valladolid. And well, my people, this is where I get to say thank you so much for listening in on Sports Radio 360. I have to leave the studio because up next is the newspaper review segment. Stay tuned. It is still Women Radio 91.7. We'll be standing up for all the champions as the Premier League season and all seasons across the different leagues continue to go on a great run.
I was built to be the best, number one and nothing less. Lead me to my destiny. I have waited patiently. I have vision, oh I believe. I know I can count on me. So stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up, stand up, stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up. Stand up, stand up, for the champions, for the champions, stand up. Here we go, it's getting close. Now it's just who wants it most.